236
and YouView, channel 236.
You can also take us with you on DAB+ radio,
with the GB News app and at the website gbnews.uk.
We're absolutely everywhere.
Come join us on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Looking ahead to this afternoon, and the UK is looking mild for most and some sunny spells, but also windy with showery rain. Let's take a look at the details. Starting off looking at Scotland, and here there will be some showery rain across southern parts this afternoon, whilst colder air brings snow showers from the north later on. It will be very wet for a time across Northern Ireland as a band of heavy showery rain pushes eastwards with some strong winds. This same band of showery rain will push across northwestern England too, though it will take a bit of time to push across all parts. Sunny spells for much of Wales this afternoon, with a few showers feeding in from the northwest, turning wetter later as the band of showery rain sweeps across, temperatures widely in double figures. Meanwhile, it's looking mostly dry with decent sunny breaks across much of the East Midlands. More southern parts may have a little rain for a time, but this should clear through the afternoon. A similar picture across East Anglia. There will be some mostly light rain for a time, mainly across Essex, but for most it will be fine and dry with sunny spells. Across southern countries, the earlier rain will be clearing away to the east. Meanwhile, we can expect some further showers in the west, with some sunny spells in between. The band of showery rain will continue south-eastwards later, with colder air from the north bringing some snow showers. And that is how the weather is shaping up for the rest of the day.
Monday to Thursday nights on GB News. At 6, it's Dubes & Co. 7 o'clock, Farage. At 8, join Mark Stein. And at 9, Dan Wootton Tonight, followed by Headliners. On TV, radio and online. This is GB News.
Here on GB News Live, we'll be keeping you in the picture, finding out what's happening across the country and finding out why it matters to you. We'll have the facts fast with our team of reporters and specialist correspondents. Wherever it's happening, we'll be there from 12 noon on TV, radio and online. GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hello, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and you can join me every weekday 6 till 7 on Dubes & Kerr. Me and my panel will get stuck right into the day's events, and I can tell you, in fact, I can warn you, expect some robust debates, some strong opinions and perspectives from both sides of the fence. It's about you at home as well. I love to read out all of your comments, or at least as many as I can. So join me, Michelle Dewberry, Monday to Friday, 6 till 7 on Dubes & Kerr.
We are GB News, the People's Channel.
Why not take us home with you by visiting the GB News shop at gbnews.store. You'll find all the official merchandise, a really good present actually for yourself, your friends or your family.
We ship across the UK mainland at no extra cost. GB News, the People's Channel.
I'm Mark White. As GB News Home and Security Editor, I cover those key issues that are so important to you. Our authorities, our communities doing all they can to combat violent crime. With the public services under unbearable strain, why are we still failing to control our borders? Defence, the first priority of any government, has been continually hollowed out. Can we trust our politicians to protect the armed forces? Join me, Mark White, on GB News.
We are GB News, right across the nation. You can get us on television, on radio, on digital. We're absolutely everywhere.
Amazing! You see, amazing!
You remind me of me in the European Parliament. But here's the most important bit. We are not part of the mainstream establishment. We think and speak just like you do. We are the People's Channel.
Magnificent. That's really, really thoughtful.
Come and join us on GB News, the People's News Channel.
My name is Andrew Doyle. Join me every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for Free Speech Nation. This is a show where we address current affairs and news stories of the week with the help of two wonderful comedian panellists. I brought in comics because I want to give it a lighter edge, and also they work for less. See you there.
I'm standing here in this exquisite chapel of St. George at Windsor Castle, so close to where my beloved mother, the late Queen, is laid to rest with my dear father. I am reminded of the deeply touching letters, cards, and messages which so many of you have sent my wife and myself, and I cannot thank you enough for the love and sympathy you have shown our whole family. Christmas is a particularly poignant time for all of us who have lost loved ones. We feel their absence at every familiar turn of the season and remember them in each cherished tradition. In the much-loved carol, O Little Town of Bethlehem, we sing of how in thy dark street shineth the everlasting light. My mother's belief in the power of that light was an essential part of her faith in God, but also her faith in people, and it is one which I share with my whole heart. It is a belief in the extraordinary ability of each person to touch with goodness and compassion the lives of others and to shine a light in the world around them. This is the essence of our community and the very foundation of our society. We see it in the selfless dedication of our armed forces and emergency services, who work tirelessly to keep us all safe, and who perform so magnificently as we mourn the passing of our late Queen. We see it in our health and social care professionals, our teachers, and indeed all those working in public service, whose skill and commitment are at the heart of our communities. And at this time of great anxiety and hardship, be it for those around the world facing conflict, famine, or natural disaster, or for those at home finding ways to pay their bills and keep their families fed and warm, we see it in the humanity of people throughout our nations and the Commonwealth who so readily respond to the plight of others. I particularly want to pay tribute to all those wonderfully kind people who so generously give food or donations, or that most precious commodity of all, their time, to support those around them in greatest need, together with the many charitable organizations which do such extraordinary work in the most difficult circumstances. Our churches, synagogues, mosques, temples, and gurdwaras have once again united in feeding the hungry, providing love and support throughout the year. Such heartfelt solidarity is the most inspiring expression of loving our neighbour as ourselves. The Prince and Princess of Wales recently visited Wales, shining a light on practical examples of this community spirit. Some years ago, I was able to fulfill a lifelong wish to visit Bethlehem and the Church of the Nativity. There I went down into the chapel of the manger and stood in silent reverence by the silver star that is inlaid on the floor and marks the place of our Lord Jesus Christ's birth. It meant more to me than I can possibly express to stand on that spot where, as the Bible tells us, the light that has come into the world was born. While Christmas is, of course, a Christian celebration, the power of light overcoming darkness is celebrated across the boundaries of faith and belief. So whatever faith you have or whether you have none, it is in this life-giving light and with the true humility that lies in our service to others that I believe we can find hope for the future. Let us therefore celebrate it together and cherish it always. With all my heart, I wish each of you a Christmas of peace, happiness, and everlasting light.
Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to all of you here from GB News. I'm Nana Akwe. Welcome on board. Cameron Walker, he's our GB News royal reporter. He joins us live now to react to the King's speech. Cameron, it was a lovely speech, wasn't it?
It was indeed, Nana. Good afternoon and Merry Christmas. We just heard His Majesty the King there, his first speech as monarch, his first Christmas message as monarch. Inevitably, the most dominating theme was paying tributes to his late mother, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. He recorded that speech actually last week on the 13th of December in St George's Chapel, just meters actually from the Queen's final resting place and the late and her late husband, Prince Philip, as well. He said he cannot thank us enough for our love and sympathy following the death of the Queen, referring there to the cards, to the flowers that have been sent to both His Majesty the King and Queen Consort Camilla as well in the months following her death. He spoke of the Queen's everlasting light and the Queen's faith in God and people, and said, "It's my belief which I share with my whole heart." A sense there, a nod that His Majesty is going to continue the life, continue the service of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Another big theme, I think, was paying tributes to the public sector, the public services, particularly the armed forces, emergency services, who helped out during the national mourning period, yes. But in the months since, he specifically referred to teachers. He referred to emergency services, like I said, which is pretty significant, actually, because clearly in the last month, there's been many public sector strikes. Now, the King did remain incredibly impartial and did not refer to the strikes, clearly, because he is monarch. But the fact he referred specifically to the public sector and thanks them for their work, I think, is quite significant. His Majesty also referred to the cost of living crisis, how many families are really having to choose perhaps between eating and heating their homes, and the communities which are helping those most in need. We understand that His Majesty has made a private donation to a fuel poverty charity over the Christmas period. So it's quite fitting, perhaps, that he mentioned that in his speech. He mentioned the cost of living crisis and those communities that are helping those in need. Now, the King is, of course, head of the Church of England, and Christmas is a Christian celebration fundamentally, and he recorded it, of course, in a church, but he wanted to mention other religions, which he very much did. He mentioned churches, synagogues, mosques, temples, gurdwaras, and making sure perhaps that because he is head of course, in the United Kingdom, it's a multi-faith country, he wanted to make sure that the whole country felt perhaps included in the message of Christmas, particularly that of community, love and support and kindness for each other. But I think the overall riding theme of all of that was selfless dedication, something which His Majesty referred to his mother, the late Queen, very much carrying that on throughout her reign. And I think, Nana, from that speech, it was very much giving us a sense that the King wants to continue his mother's legacy into the future as he continues with his reign.
Oh, it was a lovely speech, wasn't it, Cameron? I mean, the monarchy is such a wonderful institution and really symbolises everything that this country stands for, and we really look forward to seeing how he reigns. Of course, it's just the start of his reign, and then there's the coronation. Do we know anything about that, as to whether it's going to be a big affair or whether it's going to be quite scaled down? Because obviously he was sort of making reference to the fact that he knows that the country is working hard and people are really struggling.
Yeah, there's been lots of rumours about what is or isn't going to be in the coronation. From my understanding, it's going to be a lot shorter than that of Queen Elizabeth II's in 1953. The stuff that is going to be cut out perhaps is seen as too outdated. But it is, from my understanding, yes, that the King very much is aware of the cost of living crisis and people struggling to pay their bills and things like that. But the government certainly, as well as I think the royal household, who are very much taking the lead on organising the coronation, want it to have everything that's great about Britain. So the pomp, the celebrations, the ceremony, the traditions of the crowning, the anointing in Westminster Abbey, the military precision of the parades that's going to happen either side of the service itself, all of that is very much going to stay because they want it to really celebrate Britain on a global stage in this age of King Charles III. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be a slimmed down budget version of a coronation, but there will perhaps be modern twists, and also we believe there will be a nod to the fact that there are many different diverse communities living in Great Britain, and the King very much wants to reflect modern Britain in the service. But we'll have to wait and see for the specific details, Nana.
Yeah, we will. I'm very excited for that. Cameron Walker, thank you very much for joining me live. That is Cameron Walker. He's our royal correspondent. A Merry Christmas to all of you. If you just joined me, welcome. I know it's Christmas Day. A lot of you, what are you doing? You're opening presents? Have you got more presents? Are you eating still? You're probably still eating. Well, joining me today, I'm Nana Aquia, by the way. This is GB News. We're live on TV, online, and on digital radio. We'll keep you company this afternoon. And joining me today is Keith Prince. He's a Conservative Deputy Chair of the London Assembly, and also author and divorce coach Sarah Davison. You saddos. What are you doing here?
Good question.
No, I love it. No, it's great. No, I love it, though. It's lovely to be part of the panel, but also joining us is political commentator Sam Dowler. Look at him. Hello, Sam.
Oh, love, you look amazing.
Oh, thank you, darling. I wasn't sure whether to go with the scarf, but then I thought, well, it's Christmas, so I might as well. And I love your hat, Sam. Looking fabulous.
Thank you. I'm trying to keep it festive. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. So that is my panel for this afternoon as well, so make sure you join me. So I'm going to start with you, Keith, then. The King's speech, he's got such a soft, warm, kind of nice voice, hasn't he, the King?
Yeah, he has, yeah. I like the reference he made to the extraordinary ability of each individual to give so much. I thought that was very human, and his reference to the different multi-faiths. Mm-hmm. But it's true, you know, we do, in Britain especially, I think we do have that ability to give, and we're very keen on giving. So I thought it's nice of him to reference that.
Some of us give more
and
than
of course
others,
he referenced, and he referenced Matthew 19:19.
That was nice. Did you get any presents?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I got a lamp that charges your phone.
That's quite nice. Sarah, welcome aboard. This is the first time you've ever been on the panel.
Yeah, first time on the panel, yeah for sure. Thanks for having me.
Jacket, by the way. It's
Thank
very
you.
nice.
It's
Very
festive.
nice. Very nice. So talk to me about you then. What's going on? You're here for Christmas Day. Did you get any presents?
I did, but actually I did my Christmas last weekend because that's when I had my son for Christmas. So yeah, so I feel like I've done the turkey, done all that, and but yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, and the King's speech, what did you make of it?
I loved it. I think he gave a real strength, a real warmth and compassion, and I think we all need that. I think the Queen's passing made us all very uneasy, and I think having a strong leader now will hopefully give us some peace and a bit more stability.
Well, I got a present. This is my one present today. It's a candle. I love candles there. And the light. Lovely. No, thank you very much. That is my one present today, which is good. I should go home and unwrap the presents that I wrapped up for myself under the tree.
I do that as well. I do that. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, as a single mum, you have to.
What's in this one? I wonder who bought me that. You did.
Actually, I'm wearing some of mine now. This is what I wrap for myself. Yeah.
That's the thing, though. When I go Christmas shopping, I end up spending more money on myself.
Well, it's not a bad thing, is it?
So when King Charles was talking about giving, I thought, yes, to myself. It was great. It's great. But now this would be the time when people are sort of sitting around the table now at the family meal, and you're probably looking over at relatives thinking, oh, God, when are you going to go?
Yeah, I think that's quite true, actually. I think, any time where you put everybody together under one roof, there's alcohol, the pressures do increase, obviously. But hopefully people are enjoying their day and they're relaxing and having a bit of a time out from any conflict and just making the most of not working, maybe.
And, of course, enjoying the King's speech as well. It's good, isn't it? The coronation. I'm looking forward to that as well. Yeah. What do you think? It's going to be fun. Do you want a big affair for the coronation? Or?
I think it should demonstrate how good we are at doing it. No one does military parades and coronations like England and Britain, so I think we should put on a really good show.
Does anyone else have a king or monarchy?
Well, quite a few countries, actually.
Does they still? Which one? Give me one country.
Well, I think Qatar's got a prince, hasn't it? And Belgium's got a...
Spain.
Well, yeah, Spain, yeah. So a few of them are laying around, yeah.
Yeah, hanging about. But look, it's really good to have you both joining me, and of course Sam Dowler. Sam, what did you make of that lovely speech?
Do you know what? I really liked it, and obviously he's had a tough year. He's lost his mum, and he talked about the poignancy of Christmas when you've lost someone. I lost my own father December the 6th last year, so it's like, that Christmas was a write-off. So this is more of a celebration, and and I loved listening to what Charles said, and obviously he had beautiful pictures of Kate and William as well, showing them doing charitable stuff. Blissfully, no mention of any kind of family politics, which was lovely. Not even like a veiled jibe, which was really good. It was just what people need from the monarchy. It's like when the Queen spoke during the pandemic. It brings people together, and it makes us proud to be British. Which is why I also think that there should be all the pomp and ceremony around. Of course there is cost of living crisis, but that just means that if you're watching it on TV, it's not going to make any difference to how much food you've got on the table, like to how splendid the coronation is. In fact, you want it to be more splendid so that you can enjoy it more. So I think go for it.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to go for it this afternoon. We'll get a little glass of something here in the studio as well.
Oh, good.
But if you just join me, thank you very much, Sam. Sam will be joining us throughout the show as well, alongside Keith Prince and also Sarah Davidson. You're with me. I'm Nana Akwid. This is GB News on TV, online and on digital radio. Now, after the break, it's time for the Great British Debate this hour, and I'm asking, should we include vegans in Christmas lunch preparations? I know it sounds a bit cruel, but vegans, look, there's nothing wrong with being a vegan, but another nut roast. Stay with me. Send me your thoughts as ever. Email gbviews@gbnews.uk. Tell me what you think on everything we're discussing. You can also tweet at GBNews. I'll be back in a few moments.
Yeah.
Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Join me, Dan Wootton. I'll bring you the sharpest takes and hottest debates.
Do you not believe in prisons? I don't believe in prisons.
I'm completely stunned. I guarantee you there'll be no spin, no bias, no censorship.
I actually was personally quite offended by it.
And no reason to go to bed.
So I guess they've always been quite woke.
That's Dan Wootton tonight on TV, radio and online. Monday to Thursday from 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Every morning from 6 o'clock, we'll wake you up with GB News Breakfast with all the stories you didn't know from the night before.
So whether it's